Hello.
Hello, this is Uncle Vito from Pix 106, looking for Justin.
Yes, hello there. How are you?
Good, yourself?
Yeah, not bad, thanks.
I didn't get you up, did I?
No, I'm fine.
All right, because I know you guys, were you playing last night?
No, last night was our night off.
Ah, all right, so you got to sleep in a little bit then this morning.
Yeah.
Good. And you're coming to the Saratoga Performing Arts Center.
That's right.
And, of course, everybody's looking forward to that. You've been there a few other times, and it's always been a great show. And, folks, Justin Hayward, singer, guitarist, composer with the Moody Blues. And what can we look forward to at SPAC?
I think there's something for everybody in the show. We do songs from most of the albums down through the years. And the first half of the show, we do some of the newer things, really, or the later stuff. And then towards the end of the show, there's those songs that we really couldn't get off stage without playing. So I think there's something there for everybody in the show.
For all age groups. Because you guys
hope so.
You guys been around a while, haven't you?
It seems so, yes. I can't say that it seems like yesterday that we did Days of Future Past, but in some ways it does.
What a great album that was. I can remember I was maybe about 16 or 17 when that album came out. I can remember riding my bicycle over to the local it was called Bargain Center at the time. It was it was kind of like a precursor to Walmart's here. And I looked for that album, and I found the album, and I was so excited, and I ran out and threw it in the basket of my bike, and I was going home to listen to it, and I hit a pothole in the parking lot and flipped off the bike, and I think my front wheel was bent on the bike, and I was scraped up, but you know what? The only thing I was worried about was the album okay.
How did it sound when you got home?
Oh, my God. Did it sound good? Oh, yes, it did. That is one of the best albums. As a matter of fact, my favorite Moody Blues album's on that song, Tuesday Afternoon. I just love that song.
Great.
Can you tell me a little story about that? Because you wrote that song. And
yeah, it was part of the stage show that we were doing about the sort of day in the life of one guy. And I went back to I was brought up in the west of England, and I went back to my parents' home for a few days, and I just went out to a place where there was an old stately home in some lovely grounds that were public with its own sort of chapel and everything. And I took my guitar out and just sat on the edge of a field and wrote that song. I had a dog called Tuesday as well, which was... I can't say that was part of the song, but... it was a Tuesday afternoon. I just sat in the field and wrote the song, and it was a small song. But then, when we came to America first in 1968, of course, it was the big hit that we'd had, and so I'm very pleased that people love it.
It's such a wonderful song. When I listen to music, a lot of times I don't just hear the music. I get a vision in my head when I hear the music, and that song to me just paints such a picture. I see, and I don't know if I'm seeing where you were sitting in the meadow writing the song, but, I usually envision a hill with some green grass and some trees and a beautiful sky overhead, and that just comes into my mind when I hear that song. It's just, and that's what I think makes it one of my favorites, is that it paints a picture to me, and it speaks to me in that way, and not only musically.
Good. Good.
Not much to say to that. I guess I said it all with that one.
Well, I think you did. Yes, it sounds your version. I like your version.
Good. and there's other great songs on that album too, like Peak Hour and of course Ride My Seesaw. And then I told you what my favorite song was. Then we go to the next album, which was my favorite, In Search of the Lost Chord. I love that album. Did you ever get to meet Timothy Leary?
Yes, many times. We met him on our first tour of America in 1968, and then stayed in touch with him all through the rest of his life, really.
Oh,
yes,
great,
absolutely.
Great. I happened to go see him speak. He came to to the college I was going to at the time. And, I happened to go see him speak, and that's as close as I ever got to him. But I just love that In Search of the Lost Chord album.
Yeah.
Now, do you notice anything different with the audiences that come to see you, say, today that came to see you back then, other than maybe there's some
I think,
older
a
folks?
lot of people joined us in the 80s when we had hits with Your Wildest Dreams and I Know You're Out There Somewhere.
Right.
And then that's one section of the crowd. And then a lot of people came to us in the 90s when we were doing the orchestra shows. And now the audience is so diverse. A lot of people of our own age are coming out to see us. But it really goes through the whole age group. I think in the 60s and 70s, it was clearly defined as our own generation. But now it's completely diverse, and that's very pleasing.
Do you have a favorite Moody Blues song or album that you like?
I love I Know You're Out There Somewhere, and I love doing that on stage every night.
That is a good song. That just happens to be, I had a dear friend pass away here last year, and that happened to be his favorite. He was a big Moody Blues fan. He was a Vietnam vet, and he would call me all the time when I was on air, and can you play me some Moody Blues? And he just loved that song. He had a sweetheart who left him, and he never got over it, and that was his song, and I guess he related it to that experience. So that was his favorite song also.
Yeah.
Any new bands out there that you guys or you personally like or listen to?
There'll always be great music coming along and people that are ready to turn me on. I think it's I think there's always a kid walking down the street with a great song in his heart or her heart, that'll turn me on. I have no worries about that new music, and just go out and look for it yourself.
Well, God knows.
Yeah.
God knows you've had plenty of them in your heart and your head, and they've all been good ones. I'll tell you, I just love your music. Can't tell you enough. And looking forward again to seeing you up at the Saratoga Performing Arts Center. What's next for the Moody Blues?
We're coming back to the U.S. next March and through April, and then the end of next summer we're on tour in the UK and then through Europe, and that's about it really. I hope to do some recording in the meantime, and I'm still involved with another tour called the War of the Worlds. That is a big spectacular kind of show, and so I should be doing a bit of that, I expect.
Well, wonderful.
But there's always something happening. There's always something that'll appear on the horizon for us.
You're a busy man.
Seems like it.
Well, I thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedule.
Not at all. Lovely to talk to you.
To talk to us today, and I've admired your music for years, so it's great to talk to you today, and looking forward to seeing you up at the Saratoga Performing Arts Center. I'm not sure there's any tickets available, but if folks want to try, they can hit the box office and take a chance at it, because I'm sure it's going to be a great show, and you wouldn't want to miss it.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Justin.
Okay, my pleasure. See everybody later.